believe, 2 world records for normal and easy any percent. So these are 2 both very accomplished runners.
Yeah, and it seems like our runs have started now.
Oh,
as per usual, we start with a small unskippable cutscene before we head off to adventure in the Grove. So this is a 2D Metroidvania platformer game. So at the start, you can roll, you can jump, you have a melee attack and a ranged attack, and later on we will get some special items and some upgraded abilities as well. Okay, so at the start, rolling is the fastest form of movement, and sometimes you will see them rolling in the air. That's called a roll jump. It is just performing a roll and a jump at the same time. So yeah, the first area is, at the start of the run, it's not much going on. They're just trying to move through the Grove as fast as possible. And while doing that, they're also doing some 3 small detours in order to pick up 3 chests. We need to get 80 money at the end of the Grove, and the 3 chests we have routed in allow us to get that money.
We need the money to purchase an item called the Crystal Seed as we enter Karst city outskirts, which will increase our damage by 50%, allowing us to get through bosses a little bit more quickly than if we did not have it. Maybe perhaps even 50% quicker.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, while this area might not be very dangerous or exciting in terms of movement, all the imp movements is random, so you have to adapt to what they are doing. So it's actually one of the hardest areas in the game to do consistently, even if it's not very exciting or difficult per se.
We've got heyyyhoooo and Navix entering the boss fights with the Dia now. She's a giant centipede, and heyyyhoooo's going for the quick kill. And he gets it. This is, I believe, the only boss that you can, I guess, really get with. No, there are 2, I guess, with quick kills. The setup is you sort of stand back a little bit, and when Adia throws her tail ball at you, you release your arrows, and then she gets deleted automatically. It's like Navix didn't get it, so he had to do a little bit of fighting himself.
Yeah, and the next area, you might have seen the runners pick up an item after killing the boss. Killing a boss while not getting hit or not taking any damage allows you to get a special item from that boss. And most of these items are very powerful and are used in the run. So from Edea, you get her pearl, which adds poison properties to your arrows, which speeds up boss fights quite a bit. But the poison property works in such a way that it spawns poison clouds on where the arrows land. So you have to be careful to not get poisoned yourself during boss fights, or else you will lose out on those special boss items.
You see heyyyhoooo taking it pretty safe with his fight against Mocha, making sure he doesn't stand in the poison cloud. Mocha and Lubella, it's a 2-part boss fight. If you take damage on either phase, you will lose the boss item for this fight, and it is a very important boss item. It's called the Bachman Patch, which spawns a bunch of raining, I don't even know what they're called, but we just call them patches, I guess.
Bachman blocks or something like that, yeah.
But yeah, it spawns a ton of them, which are it's probably the most important boss item in the game, and it's really important for clearing bosses later on. Unfortunately, Navix here took a dive. Lubella took a dive here on Navix. That's going to cost him about 12 seconds. It's probably where a lot of time could be lost here for Navix. I think the only thing worse than a Lubella dive would probably be we'll be hitting spikes in this underground section here that heyyyhoooo has just entered. There are a ton of spikes, and if you take a death before the bell, you're going to lose at least 30 seconds that he has to eat for this cutscene with Chatty Cathy here.
Yeah, when you die in this game, you lose all progress since the last time you saved, and you can only save at the bells you have seen a few times during the run. And since this is a speed run and a race, our racers will not go for a lot of safety bells. So if they accidentally roll into spikes, that can be quite a hefty time loss. And yeah, and this area also has features underwater movement, where you can swim in the water and float. And while you're moving in the water, you are slower, so it's even more important to be rolling as much as possible underwater in order to go fast.
You can see a couple of bats here. In this category, you can try to use... Oh, heyyyhoooo went for the safety bell here. In this category, you can use bats as damage boosts. But in other categories, perhaps maybe insane, where you die in one hit, they can be kind of a pain. Kind of tricky to deal with, especially if they show up in certain rooms.
Yeah, the bats, they can spawn at any height on the screen, so you know when they will appear, but you do not know exactly where they will appear. So yeah, as you can see, heyyyhoooo just got hit by a bat. It's totally fine on this difficulty, but on insane, if you only have one life, that's a very annoying bat to get.
Hit the shrine key. I forget which one that one was. What do I call that one? It's been too long since I've actually played this game. But now we're fighting Frida, everyone's favorite bird, and heyyyhoooo. There are two strategies. heyyyhoooo goes for the riskier one, where you melee her. Only real risk is you have to dodge certain attacks, and she'll teleport a little bit more often. Each teleport costs about 3 seconds of DPS, but it's faster than sitting in the alternative strat, which is sitting in the corner and just firing arrows safely. Yeah.
Even if you get free dives, or not dives, teleports, when you're going for the melee strat, you still save time over just sitting in the corner and spamming arrows. So even if it's riskier, it is, on average, quite a bit faster than sitting in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And the Navix is also entering the fight. He's also going for melee strats. Or, okay, he's taking it a bit more safe. Not jumping over the pokey attack, as I like to call it. But yeah, he manages to get through the fight very cleanly.
And there's the sparse thread. The sparse thread, using the sparse thread, will send out a shockwave, which can stagger certain enemies, which is important for a later sub-boss fight at the very least.
Yeah, and it does a hefty amount of damage as well.
Respectable amount, indeed.
Yeah. It's a very solid item to speed up boss kills. One thing we forgot to mention is that they took a detour in the underwater area to pick up a key, and that they need that key to access the area which heyyyhoooo is in right now.
Whiteleaf Memorial Park, where we see our good friend Lubella once again.
Yeah, the refight against Lubella. This and the final boss fight are the only boss fights you don't need to avoid getting hit on, because the boss item from this encounter, it heals you when you kill enemies, so it is not used in this speedrun at all. So you can take it easy and just try and do as much damage as you can. And now we have the highlight of the run, where we have transformed into a cat. As a cat, you are smaller, you move faster, and you jump higher. But you can't climb ladders or use items, so you won't see them use cat form inside of boss fights.
Yeah, so they pick up the cat sphere. Oh, heyyyhoooo picks up the cat sphere here, which lets you to switch back and forth between human form and cat form, which is where I think the highlight of having having the cat movement option really shines. Because now you have to manage being able to use items but moving slower, and being able to climb ladders versus moving horizontally faster. Now they're gonna, in this next section here, heyyyhoooo's gonna go take a stop at a bell and then walk all the way back. There's a lot of horizontal movement, so I don't think he'll go into human form at all for the next 2 minutes or so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Navix got a dive on Lubella 2 as well. So he has had one dive on each of the Lubella fights, which is quite rough. As a cat, rolling is still faster than just running, but the roll animation in cat form has a recovery animation at the end of it, which is very slow. So what we do is we roll jump in cat form, which gives us the speed of the roll, and then we cancel the ending animation, the recovery animation, with a melee hit, which speeds up the movement quite a bit.
And a minor optimization you can make for that is try to make your jumps a little bit shorter. The shorter the jump, the quicker you can do another roll jump, making it faster. Here we have a sub-boss. Easy to kill, 2 sparse threads. You can use 2 patches if you want. If you don't happen to have the threads, but it's pretty easy boss.
Yeah, the reason why our runners are doing this detour that Navix is doing right now is in order to discover a bell in the room they just entered and then left. That is because they are going to get a power-up which allows them to warp to certain bells. And in order to warp to a bell, you have to have been on the screen that bell is on. So by seeing that bell, they register it as a bell to warp to later, which saves a lot of backtracking time. And the goal our runners are working towards right now is gathering 4 of the karst crest fragments in order to get access to the castle. And each of these fragments give a power-up to the player when picked up. The one that heyyyhoooo just picked up now is the one that gives you the ability to warp between bells. There was one after killing Frida, and that one allows you to charge your ranged attack faster. And now they are going for the 3rd fragment, down in the incendiary chambers.
The 3rd fragment, which is behind the arsonist fight, is going to give you the ability to dash in the air, which is going to fully unleash the movement options here, allowing our runners to go as quickly as possible through the game.
Yeah, the heretical arsonist fight is actually a really difficult fight. The arsonist has a lot of health, so it can turn into a pretty long fight, and it can also be very chaotic. It's easy to make a mistake and trap yourself in a corner with no way to dodge, so it is definitely one of the harder bosses to learn.
At least you got backup. Kath here is helping you out with your boss fight. Yeah, heyyyhoooo's. You can see now, in the Frida fight, what newer players will do is they won't charge their arrows at all. They'll just spam uncharged arrows. In this fight, you can see the animation. heyyyhoooo's doing a half charge, which is now the faster DPS if you're using arrows in this fight. The optimization you can make in this fight is to have the arsonist killed as close to the right side of the room as possible, and to have Kaho and Kath as close to each other as possible. And I guess one third optimization would have you as close to the dying arsonist as possible as well. Kath has to walk to Kaho after the fight is completed. So the closer you are to her, the less walking she has to do.
Yeah.
And here we have Colta, I think it's Coltalard.
Yeah.
She has a bunch of cats. Some might say this is the best room in the game.
Definitely. A major selling point of this game is definitely all the cats in this game. Like there aren't enough. Okay, I should say there aren't enough games where you can play as a cat. Being a cat is definitely a big plus.
You go to her so you can pick up the monastery key, which lets you get into this fight here with Fennel, Lady Fennel, the best waifu in the game. Fight me, bros. And it's unfortunately a very easy fight, taking a matter of seconds, almost as much of a meme as the knight.
Yeah, definitely. Playing through the game casually, she's a very scary boss and a difficult boss to try and not get hit on. But with all the items and the strategies we are using, she melts in a few seconds without even having a chance to attack. And now we enter one of the most mentioned areas in the game, I might say. The Royal Pinecone City. It is an area which has a lot of different names depending on who is saying it, and it has some of the most interesting movement in the entire run. There's a lot of vertical movement, a lot of switching between cat form and human form, and just tons of precision platforming in order to go very fast.
Yeah, this the Oritsugaro is actually, one of the walls for newer players where they might spend, 3 or 4 minutes just taking this detour up to get the sealed win. But as you improve at the game, it becomes a really fluid section, and it really feels good to execute whenever you know how to do it properly, or at least effectively. They took a detour here to, heyyyhoooo took the detour here to get the sealed win. You'll see Navix do the same, because the sealed win is an item required to unlock a mini section of the map, which is required to make your leaf into a tea leaf, which you need to get the true ending to the game.
Yeah, the game does not consider itself beaten unless you get the true ending, so we do not allow the banned ending in a speedrun. Oh, and heyyyhoooo, did he get hit or did he just almost get hit? I don't know, he did not get hit. I was very close.
I couldn't tell. Looks like he didn't get hit. Yeah, I thought he had taken that damage on the way up from a sword boy. So he got the heavy arrows. And they do something with your arrows. They make them harder. They're necessary for the one-turn quick kill with the queen, which I believe the heavy missive, which you picked up from Fennel, also is required as well. So heyyyhoooo's pretty much set to finish the rest of the game. Next end of the game is about another 3 minutes from here for heyyyhoooo. Navix is a little further behind, but we'll see.
Yeah, what heyyyhoooo just did there is he used the Bachman patch in order to hit a lever that is out of screen above it. So, and what this does, it unlocks a shortcut to the right there. Usually you have to go around the castle in order to unlock that shortcut, but with the Bachman patch we can skip that and get a much faster unlock.
Now we have heyyyhoooo has the fresh spring leaf. He is all good to go. It is go mode. He's going straight to the queen.
Yeah. Navix managed to get the heavy arrows as well, which is very good. And yeah, heyyyhoooo is upgraded from being Mario to being Luigi, so he is all set for the end game.
The Karst Castle here, I always found the music to be somewhat, I don't know, like, rather the lack of music was always kind of ominous to me, and I don't know, it kind of weirded me out. Like Karst Castle and the Karst City, there's not a whole lot of joyful celebration going on. Oh, yeah. You passed Kath. She's just taking a rest. Resting her eyes.
Yeah, it's been a long trip to get up here for her. I don't blame her.
She doesn't have cat mode.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody deserves a cat nap every once and then. But yeah, oh yeah, now we have the clone angel fight. And she's a mini boss. And she spawns clones of herself, and you have to figure out which is the correct one. And you do that by looking at which one hovers closest to the ground. And the ones that hover higher, they are fakes and will punish you if you attack them. You just have to find the correct one, use 2 sparse threads and 2 melee hits that are boosted by the tainted missive, and that mini boss fight is done. And yeah, the music in the subterranean graves is also very spooky. Or oh no, Navix died. Where did he die? And how far back was that? He has not upgraded his leaf. He has not went into the castle. But he did menu after the Loop Yard Magnolia fight.
Yeah, but heyyyhoooo here. This is phase 2 of the Queen. You're gonna get the phase 3 as well. Phase 3, all you need is a laser, a fairy laser, 2 Bachman patches, and 3 combos of missives, and your supercharged arrows, and it's ogre. 2, 3 arrows. GG.
Yeah, that is a very good time. Yeah, for any percent, there are 3 runners in our community that have gotten 21-minute times. It's heyyyhoooo, Nan, and Double Stop. So yeah, a 21 time is a really good time in this game. So congratulations to heyyyhoooo for winning the first race.
Navix here's just cleaning up the rest of his run. Oh, looks like he's a little frustrated at that bell. He must have taken a spike death after that bell, setting him back by about a minute or so?
Yeah, spikes can be really rough. Especially since they are insta-kill no matter what difficulty you're playing on. When playing on easy, you do get 2 extra items, 2 passive items at the start. One which passively regens health, and one which gives you longer invincibility frames after getting hit. So, oh no, what did he do?
Oh,
what did he do to Calf?
Why would you do that? Not even going to pick up the Passiflora either.
I think we need to report him to the Momodora Speed Police. This is a very serious offense. Whew.
Where's Mama? I'm telling Mama on you.
I don't know if we can let this continue here. We might even have to end this race right here.
Disqualified, lose a game.
Yeah, that's just... You just don't do that. That's...
Well, you do it in 100% whenever you need to get all the items. Kath is holding one of the Passifloras you need for 100% items. So the Passiflora, it's not an item you'll often see in this run, but it heals you. It's better than the Bellflower you could have gotten at the beginning of the game if you stopped in that short room.
Yeah, Navix is now heading into the Queen fight. And let's see if he can do the strategies as smoothly as heyyyhoooo did. Which I believe he can, since he has the New Game Plus world records in most categories. So he is very familiar with Queen strats. But NG Plus has quite different strats because they use the Necklace of Sacrifice, which gives you a massive damage boost when you're low on health. So, yeah, the ending to phase 2 was a little wonky, but he gets through. And now, oh, okay, he does not think he has enough health for the Tainted Missive, so he's going to be safe and use the Crystal Seed instead. I can tell you that he has enough health for a Tainted Missive. But yeah, he plays it safe and finishes off the queen with a...
The Tainted Missive will use 25% of your maximum health every time you use it. So if you don't have enough health for it, you'll use it, but then you'll be sent straight back to the bell. But that's a GG. Navix. Well, I don't know what his time is because I didn't look at whenever it finished, but interesting timer strats. But yes, that's a race 1. I think Navix was only about 1 or 2 minutes behind heyyyhoooo. It wasn't a wash. Alright, heyyyhoooo's in that room that's to the left of the starting area. I bet you never thought to go to the left. But if you're playing a good Metroidvania, you'll always be able to go to the left of the starting area. So next time you play this Metroidvania, see if you can go to the left. If you can, it's a good one.
Unless you have to go to the left from the start, then try going to the right instead. Always try to go backwards and see if there's something there. That works in a lot of games, even if in games where you have like different load into different levels. Just check behind you. It's very often there is a small treasure or Easter egg or something there.
But we'll be setting up the second race here. As you can see from Navix's screen, he uses a keyboard. heyyyhoooo, I can tell you for a fact that heyyyhoooo also uses a keyboard. You have three control options for the game. You can use a keyboard, you can use a controller, or you can use the alternative controls, but no one uses those.
I know one guy who used them when he played this game, but he doesn't actively run it anymore. Rinstein did use the alternate controls, actually.
You're kidding me, really?
No, I'm 100% serious.
Oh man. Most of the, as far as I know, most of the world records have been done using the keyboard, if that matters to you guys. I know heyyyhoooo uses it, Navix uses it, Double Stop. heyyyhoooo took his control scheme from Double Stop. Does Nan use a controller or keyboard?
I believe he uses keyboard. The alternate controls, they are mostly they're pretty similar to the regular control setup, but some buttons are switched around, like the arrows are on the B or circle button instead of one of the triggers or on the bumper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only distinction is that it swaps the fire and the roll button. But it looks like the race is in progress, and here we are once again in the at Reset City.
Yeah, Grove is one of the most heavily reset areas in the game because of the imp RNG I mentioned, and it can be a pain to deal with sometimes. Especially but it's a small blessing that it is so early on in the run. So if you get a bad grove, you don't lose too much time resetting because, yeah, it's just that it is the start of the game. But sadly, when going for the absolute top times, there is some boss RNG you have to be lucky with in order to contend with those top times. Yeah,
we didn't see this too much in the last set of in the last race. But Adia can put on her dancing shoes and give runners a pretty hard time because you can only execute the quick kill if she is tossing her tail at you. So what some runners might do is they might wait out the dancing, or they'll just go for the melee strats and fight the boss the way probably most of us did it our first time through.
I'm not sure. I don't think a lot of people did the speedrun strat of hug her and crouch next to her, because that is not the intuitive way to fight a boss, to go up and hug her. It's the Dark Souls way of fighting bosses.
Certainly the way I fight Fennel. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Always give Fennel a hug. Always give all the Momodora girls a hug. Except for the imps. The imps you can kill.
No, you gotta let the imps live. Otherwise, they'll curse your runs. Pray to imps.
It's too late. They cursed them before I started killing them.
The Grove is really speaking of like reset times, it's only about 3 minutes every time if you go all the way to the beginning again. Navix didn't even get the bell, so whatever he gets here is what he gets. Oh yeah, you'll see heyyyhoooo doing that. You could see these players doing pauses. There was a kind of a, I don't know, we're calling it a buffer strat discovered, where if you step back and you pause as the bell is coming, as the tail is coming at you, and then you release your arrows afterwards, it's a quick kill. I can't explain the precise mechanics of it, but that's what they're doing. A buffered strategy for the quick kill, which will give Navix a slight lead here because he didn't have to melee.
Yeah, Navix got the quick kill this time and heyyyhoooo did not, which gives him a small lead when they're moving towards Lubella. Yeah, Mocha is also one of the bullies in the run. He jumps around very sporadically, so it's very easy that he accidentally jumps into you and you take damage. And yeah, for newer players especially, his attacks are not the easiest to dodge and then go back in quickly. So yeah, doing Mocha fast takes quite a while to learn. But it seems Navix did mess up with his early arrow shot by having it in the wrong direction, but he still had a good fight.
And don't take the Mocha being a bully lightly. There's an image in the Momodora Discord where Mocha is wanted for what, 1 million money or something.
Yeah,
there's a wanted poster of Mocha himself.
Yeah, the runners are very close now.
Yeah, this is within seconds.
Yeah. Who knows? It might all... If it continues like this will be a very close race. We'll see what happens here in the subterranean graves. This area is very scary to do fast, because there are several places where you want to roll jump over a pit of spikes. And if you fail those roll jumps, you will fall into the pit of spikes and die, so you have to be able to do the frame perfect input of a roll jump very consistently in order to move fast through this area.
And for anyone wondering what's in that chest that you pass by on the way down, it's 1 money every time, it seems. I checked. So it's not worth it to go. Even if you did need money for anything else in the run, don't even bother going to the right there to pick up that chest. I can't remember what's in that chest though, that they just typed.
It's either empty or 1 money in that one as well. It's one of those troll chests. They are so close together now. I'm surprised that no one of them rolled jump up
heyyyhoooo
that
took
slow.
a slight lead.
Yeah, heyyyhoooo being slightly faster with his movement here.
I think it's these wall bonks. I think Navix did a few wall bonks on his way down. Ooh.
Oh, Navix hit. Both of them are getting the safety save.
I think I don't know if Navix is watching the race or not, but from his from talking to Kath last time, I suspect he might be. But I don't see the point of taking that safety save if you're not going to use it, supposing things go badly.
Yeah, I usually just go on without the sparse thread, but maybe they really want the sparse thread because a lot of later boss fights, you can't use the regular strategies for them because you need the sparse thread for most of it. So killing a lot of the later bosses without sparse thread is a challenge in and of itself, but it's actually very fun in my opinion.
It will make you slower though, and remember that you do need to perfect the boss to not get hit while fighting the boss to get the items. So if you don't have the boss items, the boss strats are going to be a little bit harder for you, and you might get hit, which will make, so that'll prevent you from getting that boss item, which will make future boss fights also more difficult. It's just a snowball, man.
Yeah, Heyyyhoooo with having a slight or a faster Frida boss fight, giving him a slight lead right now.
Yeah. So now they're both gonna bully that poor Bachman to make him blow up a wall so they can progress to the next area a little bit quicker. If you're slow on the way up, the wall might already be broken for you. But since these runners are super speedy, as we might say, speedy boys, the wall has not been broken for them yet.
Yeah, it's a very low chance that the Bachman bomb thrower will actually throw the bomb far enough on his own. But I have actually had it happen to me twice in the tournament. Not just twice overall, twice in the tournament, which is ridiculous. Yeah, one thing we haven't mentioned is there is a hidden item in the game. What it does is it spawns a fairy that will shoot laser beams across your screen a few times, and they can do quite a bit of damage. It is summoned by inputting part of the Konami code, and you can see it on Heyyyhoooo's screen here, the little fairy floating around and all these blue laser pillars.
Oh, but he takes a dive. Fortunately for this fight anyway, Lubella will still take damage while she's
also
underground.
gets a dive. Let's see if Heyyyhoooo can finish it before.
Nah, he's fine. Poison will finish that, even if she took a dive. Yeah, getting hit, even though you can get hit, it's not like you want to. Your arrows lose charge if you take a hit, which will make the fight takes a little bit more time no matter what. So just because you can get hit doesn't mean you want to get hit. But we're back. And we're Cat?
Yeah. And the platforming as a cat on these small platforms is actually quite difficult to do fast. It's not the easiest thing in the world to see where your hitbox is, because your hitbox is not like the entire length of the cat when it's running. So it can be hard to see where the actual hitbox is.
And your move, it just feels slippery whenever I was doing it. It's just like you jump up and you're like, I'm gonna land here, and then you don't land there, which can be a pain in the upper part of the castle as well, where you have the pit of spikes below you.
Yeah. If I remember, I'll talk more about that room when we come to it, because going fast through that room is actually very difficult, because you can speed it up by doing air dashes as well. but it takes a bit of practice to get used to, and requires certain timings of doing it. So it's easier to just definitely some bravery, because it's at the end of the run. You might be on a good pace, and then nerves start kicking in, and you'll have to do these tricky, precise, or not super tricky, but precise jumps that are dangerous if you mess them up. Yeah, that can definitely be a run killer.
Yeah, this is kind of the down part of the run, going back and forth to pick up the warp crest. It's a lot of roll jumping. I usually sort of take it easy here. You know, take a deep breath. You don't have to think too hard whenever you're running this section. You see Princess Airy again. That's nice.
Yeah.
You can chase her out of the grove and get some item. I can't remember what it's called, but it gives you like seven balls of fire around you that you can use to hit bosses. But it does like 0 damage, so not worth at all.
Don't you need to do part of the ivory bug collection to do that?
Yeah.
To get that
Yeah,
item?
you do.
Yeah.
No one's gonna do it in this race, but you do it at 100%, which no one does either.
Hey. Or that depends if you mean the Avid category by 100%, or if you mean a category that doesn't really exist.
Oh, does 100% not exist anymore?
No, it's renamed to Avid because it's not.
No, I'm not even talking about Avid. There's where you do 100% map completion, you do 100% boss fights, and you get 100% items. So you actually do need to do it to do the Ivory Bug quest to get the item.
Oh yeah, that's not something that anyone runs. So yeah, true.
But heyyyhoooo here, I think he's gonna take a damage boost here, so he can fall down. So he can run right through that bomb, as you can see, that Bachman throws. Makes it a little bit more quicker.
Oh yeah, we did not mention what the arsonist boss item is. It's an item called the Pocket Incensory, and what this does is add a flame effect to your attacks. And what this does in practice is that your attacks do more damage and also stagger and knock back enemies.
Which is, again, exceedingly helpful for the Fennel fight. If you don't have boss items, the Fennel fight can be kind of a scary one. That's why Fennel is often the spoopy boss for casual playthroughs.
Yeah, and the biggest or the best thing with the Pocket Incensory is that it works on the bottom patch as well. So each of the patches in that attack, or the blocks, I think they do 3 times as much damage as usual, which turns it from a good damage item to an insane damage item.
So you need to make sure you remember to equip the Pocket Incensory after you get it. Otherwise, you're going to show up at the bosses and kind of wonder where all your damage went. On more than one occasion, I have forgotten to equip both the incense and the heavy arrows. Some good cat RNG here for heyyyhoooo.
Yeah, lots of different cat. Navix has very balanced cat colors. 3 black cats, 3 white cats. Very, very nice. But yeah, this race is very close. Navix is not far behind the heyyyhoooo. And the heyyyhoooo is being very fast. So heyyyhoooo has modified the Fennel strat a bit from what I am used to and what the standard strat is. I assume it's faster, and that's why he has changed it.
Yeah, he does. He tends to do melee attacks as well. So he'll do one patch, then he'll do melee strats, which should be a little bit faster because you don't have to wait for the second patch animation to. So you know how Kaho does a little prayer, and then the patches fall from the sky not long after. You don't have to wait for the patches to fall. So I assume, I don't know, but I assume that's why he does that.
Yeah, it requires you to, I think, have arrows charged as you enter the fight, and you do the first phase a little bit differently. But it should end with a faster phase 2 because you only need to use one patch.
See, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the room that Navix was in, I believe to the right of that, either that room or the one he's going to enter not soon. Not soon after I finish saying this, is the one that shows you the fairy code.
Yeah, it's to the left of the one he's right now. We're transformed into the cat. Yeah. Jamsworth, if you want to know what we mean about the cat RNG, is that in the room with Cotillard, there are... Oh no, oof. Navix falls into spikes.
That is painful. At least he took that bell, instead of skipping that bell like most people do. Unfortunately, it is faster to try to go for that dash. I don't often do it, but you can dash through that platform, and if you don't time it properly, you're gonna have a bad time.
Heyo had to use both patches on the first phase. That gets through the second phase, no problem. Yeah, in the room with Cotillard there are like 7 cats, and what color they have is random. So when doing these races, we have started looking at the cats and deciding that it's good cat RNG. It's just a fun little silly thing to do when there's not a lot going on in the run.
The Momo community is pretty silly, IMO.
Yeah, Navix is now entering the Lupia and Magnolia fight. And we'll
a little bit slow on that second patch, but it looks like he got through just fine. This fight can also be kind of tricky for newer players. Not because of the double phase, but because your arrows don't actually harm Lupiar. So most people are fighting her with melee attacks only. As far as the speedrun goes, sometimes Lupiar will double or triple roll, and then she'll be out of range of your patches, and that's a real sad, boys. Because then you'll either have to do more to use a second threat, or you have to do some melee strats. It's just all around bad news bears.
Also, speaking of RNG, sadly it's not likely that we will see a PB in this race because none of their R runners saw a jellyfish in the subterranean graves area. That's one part of the Momodora community's fortune telling, is that if you get a jellyfish in the background in one room, that means you're getting a PB. One very silly.
The curse bugs and the golden Bachman. I haven't been keeping up with too many of the races since most of these guys do their races when I'm at work. But I'm pretty sure that during my race with Muffin, it was either Muffin or I think it was Muffin. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, golden Bachman.
Heyo just let Kathy rest some more, it seems. She was tired after all. Yeah, during my speed running of this game, I have seen one golden Bachman and one cursed ladybug, or what they are called. Oh yeah, Muffin is confirming that he got the golden Bachman. That is very rare. And it's actually very scary to see, because it's a Bachman that throws like 20 bombs at once, filling the entire screen. It's actually very scary. And I remember that the cursed ladybug I got was in a spot where there usually aren't any enemies, so it actually blocked me off from the standard path. So if you're just going by muscle memory, you would actually run into it and get hit, which would not be optimal during a insane run.
Yeah. I lost an insane run because of it. That was some real... feels bad, man.
Truly cursed.
Cleaning up the second phase of the Queen. And, yeah. Unfortunately, the only thing that could give Navix the win here is if something really bad happens for heyyyhoooo here. And even then, only maybe. The third phase of the Queen is actually the easiest phase, so make of that what you will. 1, 2. Ooh,
Boom.
he did not do the normal strat for that. Oh, he had the red left over.
Yeah, the red left over. So GG to heyyyhoooo.
And that'll be the 2-0 for heyyyhoooo. Let's see if Navix gets the 1 cycle. Nah, once again, he doesn't execute it quite properly.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that heyyyhoooo was a bit sick last night, so he wasn't sure if he would be able to participate today. But he is here even if he's not fully recovered. So send him all your love. I should probably have said that at the start, when he would have needed all the love the most, but I guess he can take your love now that the race is over as well.
Overall, definitely some very good races here. A 23:07, very respectable time from Navix. 22:11, a little bit slower than his first run, but still a very good time. So GG's to the runners, and looks like you've already sent out the bat signal.
I believe so. Yeah, we'll get the runners in for some post-game interviews in just a little bit. And here we have them. First, congratulations, heyyyhoooo, for your victory.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, to both heyyyhoooo and Navix, Yamsworth X loves you both. He wanted me to say that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So how do you feel about your run today, heyyyhoooo? I know you are not in top physical condition, or
no, true. But anyway, the first one was pretty solid. Played pretty carefully, but I mean, kind of have to, because my opponent is not exactly a bad player.
Yeah,
the second one was kind of sloppy, but still an okay time. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 21-minute time in the first race is definitely really good, and a low 22, while not your best time, it's still a really good time for a race.
Yeah. True. Was it fun to watch?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the second race was very close for a long while. Then Navix did make a mistake.
Yeah, he told me about it. He dived into spikes in the Pina, right?
Yeah, after picking up the sealed wind, which is quite rough, but it happens.
Yeah, that's a big time loss.
Yeah, otherwise it was very solid. Anything else you want to say about the tournament or the or today?
Not really. Let's talk with Navix.
Well,
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute. I can't let this slide just yet. So, so your next opponent will be Zof. And I don't know if you remember this, but it was Zof who took you to the third game to knock you down into the bracket of alternative success, as they say.
Yeah, so, I can kind of remember that.
You know, are you itching for the rematch?
Not really. Well, okay. To be honest, I kind of want to win, but
yeah.
I mean, it's chill. It's gonna be a chill match.
I don't know. Zof's known for his dab and stats, dab and strats rather. But all right, I'll stop bothering you. I'll stop bothering you about it.
Oh, it's a valid question. Most people would be nervous.
Okay, well, we got Navix in here. Hey, Navix, how do you feel about the runs today?
Overall, pretty good. Made 2 major stupid mistakes, and, you know, could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the second race was really close for a long... Like, when did it start? When did they sync up? Yeah. You had a slight lead after Idea because you got the quick kill and heyyyhoooo didn't. And then I think the time, like, up until you died, I don't think there was more like than a 5-second time difference between you two.
Oh, nice.
So it was a very close race for most of race 2, which was really fun to see.
Yeah, but I just want to point out, heyyyhoooo's second time was tied with my PB, and his first time was however many seconds faster. How am I supposed to compete with that?
Yeah, it's like with the non and the double stop race. Like I think. Wait, who won? The double stop won then? Yeah, I should know. I commentated it. But yeah, double stop. One time Nan got a 21-minute time, which is an amazing time. But that is still not enough to win because you're racing against double stop, who gets an even better 21 time.
Yeah, that is true. Like, if it comes to the point where I may be running against double stop, I have to like not play carefully because that just loses too much time.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's all or nothing then.
My usual suggestion is just to get good if you want to compete.
I'll try.
Oh yeah, I noticed that Navix here, you decided to show people the choir fight that no one sees in this category.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you. Thank you for that. Now they'll never see it again. Unless they buy the game.
Yeah. Also, in the first run, we saw you do the unspeakable thing at the end of the
Oh yeah. Can't let them get away without that.
Don't worry, dude. I fixed it in the second one.
We are reporting this to Mama, so expect to be punished later.
Nah, it didn't happen. You got no proof.
Oh yeah, we have proof. We have the VODs. I'm downloading the VODs right now.
I figured, like, because by that point, heyyyhoooo had already finished the race. I was like, I'll just try and at least get a laugh out of some people real quick.
Yeah. Other than that, you were pretty unlucky with the Lubella fights.
Yeah, the first run, I got like... I had a walk on Edia, I had a dive on Lubella 1, I had a teleport on Frida, and then I had a dive on Lubella 2.
Yeah, in the second round, both of you actually had a early dive on Lubella 2, so you were equal with that as well.
Oh yeah, I remember. And I was super, I like kept shooting arrows even though I could have sparsed her down when I was in actual run mode and not in race mode. But yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah. So do you have anything? Or sadly, Navix, you are out of the tournament now. So
Nah.
how do you feel about the entire tournament and looking back on it?
I thought it
how
was
has
great.
it been? Yeah.
Everyone's been like, the community has been a lot more active since the tournament started, and there's nothing but good coming from that.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was a very positive thing, and I hope we do another one at some point soon. Maybe a different category.
Yeah, we have gotten several new runners.
Insane AVIP tournament, please.
Yeah, I would like that.
Nice, but I don't think we could do 2 out of 3 with that one.
No,
But we can have like 5-hour matches, right? That would be fine. But yeah, I've seen a lot of new people in our speedrunning Discord. So, and also if anyone is interested, we have a link to the Momodora speedrunning Discord. And you can join if you have any questions about the speedrun or the game or the community. And we are, in my opinion, a very friendly community. It's my first. Oh, hey,
wow.
bad.
Okay.
At least he didn't. At least he did not do the unspeakable. But yeah, it's also
murder sleeping women.
But yeah. Oh yeah, true. The best part about the Momo speedrunning Discord is that we have a channel dedicated entirely to cat pictures.
That's true.
It's the best channel on the server.
That's
you can ignore. Yeah, is it? You can ignore the channels that are about learning strategies and things like that.
There are threads for this game? Oh, I need to look those up.
Yeah, actually.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, there are a few spikes in this game that do not one-shot you, and they are the ones that you can see Navix running around in right now. Those that were attached to the top platform. They don't one-shot you for some reason. They are the only spikes that don't.
Yeah, those are my favorite spikes.
You've never seen them in a run before.
I know.
You only really see them in AVIB.
Yeah.
In fact, I was kind of wondering if Navix is just showing off AVIB or what.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing.
It's doing like cross promotion for another category.
It's because like we always end up just like closing both of our streams, and then there's nothing in the background while we talk. So I decided to do something.
I usually try to leave it on the thank you for watching part of the credits. Or thank you for playing. Thank you for playing, not watching.
I personally would rather watch nothing than Navix playing the game, but I mean.
Rude.
Yeah, is there anything else and if you have to say about the tournament or today's races?
Nah. GG Heyo. It was good.
Yeah, GG's.
GG, my dudes.
Yeah. And
I see you.
Yes, unless you have anything to end this with, Elsam, I guess that's it for us.
I think we're good. We're good. Yeah. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by, and I do hope that we see some of you in the Momo Discord pretty soon. But until then, I guess we'll call it a day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.